The decade is the 1910s. The Wright brothers are up, dresses are way down, and the Model T is moving America. Meanwhile, in Alexandria, Virginia, 14 Eastern European immigrant families are making a move of their own, forming a synagogue, a congregation, Agudas Achim congregation. Join us as we visit Agudas Achim, then,
now, and in between. September 1914, Agudas Achim congregation is officially founded, with services held above Rosenberg's department store on King Street and in members' homes. Not until 1928 does the synagogue obtain its first permanent home on Wolf Street, an old house used as a hospital for casualties of the Civil War. In 1947, the congregation moves to a remodeled brick house at 1400 Russell Road, but the members dream of building a new home of their own. In 1955, member Murray Goldberg learns of land for sale at the corner of Valley Drive and Kenwood Avenue, an ideal site for a synagogue. But there is a minor complication.
The property was owned by a prominent Alexandria individual who would not sell it to anybody who was Jewish.
Not to be deterred,
Murray got someone else who was not Jewish to buy the land from this fellow.
And Murray and fellow congregants Al Wolf and Mo Katz buy it from him. Nora and Al Wolf sponsor a fundraising dinner at their home.
And we set up long tables, and I don't even remember what we served, but I do remember that they raised $65,000 that night.
Sunday, July 22nd, 1956. Groundbreaking day has arrived. The stands and trimming had been built Friday the 21st, but by the next morning, they had been mutilated and destroyed by people who did not want a synagogue on the spot. A shul member notifies City Hall, which immediately dispatches a crew to build all new stands. That evening, the police put 4 officers on all-night vigil to watch for would-be vandals, and the groundbreaking ceremonies come off without a hitch. On March 30th, 1958, a Torah procession departs Russell Road, along with a proud motorcade bound for 2908 Valley Drive, where a dream of 44 years is about to be fulfilled. Agudas Achim is considered a traditional synagogue, but just what does this mean? To answer that question, we sent in our hidden cameras to document the typical traditional service in this typical traditional synagogue. Here is what we found. Is this unusual? We went further back in our archives. Perhaps at Agudas Achim, this is traditional. But the truth is, Agudas Achim did see quite an evolution. Founded as an Orthodox synagogue, identifying with the conservative movement in 1945, and then becoming ever more egalitarian.
You know, the women back in the day were in the kitchen mostly at our synagogue, and the men prayed. That's the way it was.
Women, for the most part, didn't work, so you put all your efforts into the sisterhood.
It's what we talked about day in and day out, how to make it better, who did what to whom, frankly.
And we had some wonderful, wonderful things.
Oh, but there were voices for change.
I said it's time for the women to get out of the kitchen and do more besides just doing the dishes and serving the food.
And for girls who were to have a bat mitzvah.
It was a Friday night service, which was the case for my 2 daughters.
But a group of the fathers decided they wanted their daughters to be bat mitzvahed on a Saturday. My husband was part of it, and they were at that time called the Lunatic Fringe.
Well, this Lunatic Fringe got together and decided that we really had to come to terms with what kind of a synagogue we were going to be.
So there was quite a to-do, but it finally was passed.
The shift was gradual, but it was with Rabbi Elster and, of course, with Jack that so many changes have taken place.
What is today and what was is an entirely different atmosphere. Now everybody is part of it.
We are participants. We're not observers. We're not guests. We are part of the synagogue family, the congregational family.
I feel so much a part of the community, a really good part of the community. I feel like I belong here.
Things have changed, and they've changed for the better.
When we walk through those doors, it's like walking into a home.
A place where people genuinely are interested in other people.
It's like a second home for us. It's like a second family.
And it's a place where I know I can go for comfort.
When those hard times hit, we just got so much support, so much love.
And going through sitting Shiva and hosting a Shiva in our home and seeing the outpouring of people's love for our family.
They're there for you. They come to the house, they come bearing food.
In '94, Randy got cancer. So they put a cooler in front of my house, and every day, they put food for me to microwave. And then Randy came home, and food kept coming. And then she yelled at me. She said, "Tell these people to stop," and they didn't stop.
That's just what we did for each other. That's what Agudas Achim is.
I'm just so glad that I found Agudas.
During the 1980s and early 90s, Agudas Achim played host to a related community, Gesher Jewish Day School.
The only Jewish day school in Northern Virginia!
Founded by a group of pioneering parents and visionaries, largely from Agudas Achim, including Shulamith Elster and Agudas Achim's rabbi, Sheldon Elster.
As with the current preschool, having the Gesher children and their families coming and going in the building added an incredible vibrance to the Agudas Achim community.
Gesher thrived and eventually moved on. And they weren't alone. By the mid-1990s, Agudas Achim too had outgrown its home, a home that had become worn from years of vibrant activity within its walls, years that saw the congregation flourish and need ever larger space. And so the dream realized in 1958 becomes the foundation for a new dream of the 1990s. Just short of 40 years after that first joyous groundbreaking, the congregation comes together to break ground once again.
Like the first temple, our first temple is about to be destroyed. But unlike Solomon's temple of old, we will not lament its destruction. The removal of a wall, of a roof, of a plaque, cannot remove the sacred standing of this ground. Let us resolve to bring our children here for generations to come. Let us resolve to seek God here for generations to come. Let us resolve to meet each other here for generations to come. And let us resolve to do so in the spirit of those whose past dedication has made this day not just possible, but joyously necessary. May God bless the work of our hands.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu b'zman hazeh.
building and the people who are there and the feeling of belonging and the importance of Judaism, all of those things come together for us at Agudas Achim.
And they always have.
People who are a part of this place, there are as many different reasons why they're here as there are people.
It's really the only place I find that that I can really go to a place with God and feel supported and comforted in a way that I can't anywhere else.
It makes me feel like I'm a little closer to God.
God is at the school every day. I'm only 7, and it's hard to pray when you're only 7.
I feel like God is in the neighborhood.
There's a certain amount of room that you're given here, depending on where you are on your spiritual journey.
Any level of observance, any level of participation, Jew by birth, Jew by choice.
I was looking for something, and when I walked through these doors, I knew I had found it here.
When I converted, I was so touched by how members of Agudas were so excited for me, welcomed me so warmly into the community.
I felt very welcomed to grow as a Jew at Agudas. So it's meant everything. It's meant the world to me.
You know, I wondered before I converted, would it matter? Would the people in the congregation think of me differently because I wasn't born Jewish? And they don't.
In fact, they think you're more Jewish than perhaps other members of your family.
What I like about the synagogue.
The synagogue has been an anchor for me and my family.
It has brought out some better qualities in me.
Made me believe stronger in Judaism.
It's also very fun, and I have a lot of friends there.
It recharges me. When I come to shul on a Friday night or a Shabbat morning, it's nourishment for my soul.
Not only have I watched the children of Agudas Achim grow up, but I've watched my own children be a part of the Agudas Achim family, and it's been absolutely amazing.
I like the food that they serve.
I enjoy being around a lot of Jews. There's a warmth, there's a comfort, there's a language.
I found my husband here.
Well, I found my wife here. We've got a brick out in the courtyard that says met here, dated here, married here.
And occasionally you learn something up there.
So I get a good feeling of being a part of it when it's on the giving end, not always the receiving end.
When I come to services, it's still that special place.
I can't imagine what life would be without Agudas Achim.
Agudas is my home.
It's family.
It's a way to connect with a community and to connect with people who love you.
A great place to be.
Riches I didn't expect.
A warmth that is incomparable.
It's a part of our life. I can't imagine it not being here or us not being here.
Just been a tremendous gift to us, to our whole family.
It's our life. It's not perfect, but it's our life.
May God give us strength. May God bless us with peace.
So that 2908 Valley Drive remains the most wonderful place
for generations and generations to come.
forever.
I wish I had the ability to talk with the people who founded this congregation, to tell them that everything they imagined has come true, and that everything that they hoped is still part of our mandate for the future.